If you're looking for a job in this evil ass market and tired of people telling you that it's all networking and you don't really know what that means, this is for you. I'm Dr. Anna Kalschmidt. I research the unwritten rules of work for the working class and neurodivergence. I'm going to break down in this video things you can do, like tangible things you can do to network, but I'm not going to pretend that what's happening right now is okay or normal. Okay? I'm not pretending it's a cure-all. But here's some tangible things besides just like network. One, you can look on Meetups and Eventbrite to go to events to meet people. I know that's scary. Look for events that you would have some joy. Okay. For example, I just moved to London in September. I found this cool meetup group called like Rebels at Work. Hell yeah. Sounds like something I'd be interested in. A lot of hands were shook, a lot of LinkedIn connections going, even bought someone's book. Okay. Look for topics you're interested in because it also makes networking less awkward when you have something to do. Think of how like a first date that's a movie is much more awkward than like going for a walk. You have something to do. Also, look on here for people who are doing the free webinars or people who are doing something you think looks really interesting and just ask for like a 15-minute chat, really only 15 minutes because everybody's busy and they don't know you, to learn more about them. People are being forced back into the office, but connections and such are still global. If somebody's doing something interesting and you want to hear more about it, let them know you're interested and learn how you can help them. Even if it's something really small, I always give the example of they may have the corporate power or the organizational power, but you may know the traffic patterns in the town they're in. I've heard some people talk on here about how they offer to pick people up from the airport when they know they're going to be in their town. Now, as a woman, I'm thinking that's fucking dangerous. It's definitely something a man could do. Putting it on your radar, make your own decisions, maybe make some friends, or maybe it's somebody that you've talked to for a little bit online and you offer to pick them up in the airport later down the road. But even besides the airport, what are other things you can take off their plate? Not like too much free labor, but even if it's sending them an article you think they might like. Message people on an online platform. Doesn't have to be LinkedIn, but that's where your credentials are. If you like their podcast or their book or whatever, even if you think it's unattainable, you never know, they might respond. You're not going to instantly send them like, hey, I'm looking for a job, or hey, can you give me a job? That's not going to work. You have to build relationships, but send them a message, even and comment on their stuff, share their stuff and tag them. Social media is a big part of networking right now. It's weird. We have a lot of underqualified people with big platforms parroting either shit that's not new or could be harmful. So if they can do it, why can't you? At least be credible. Another thing, consider building a professional social media. What is something that interests you? And like if you're neurodivergent, what's your hyperfixation? And that interests you, shows your skills, so that during this time in the gap in your resume where you may have to do things to hemorrhage the bleeding, you may have to work in retail, you may have to go back to being a bartender, you may have to do things like that just to survive. What image can you be creating to show to the world that you were very productive? That wasn't a gap on your resume. You were being a freelancer. You were a small business owner. Making an LLC isn't as hard as you think it is. You can find that information on LinkedIn Learning. I'm sure there's some YouTubes on it as well. It's all a game. Everything is made up. Play it to your favor. Something else you can be doing is the Moose on here, a la Modal, made a video a few days ago about how rich people put their kids in the news for anything, even the most mediocre thing. And he encouraged that you should do this for your friends. This is another good one. If you see someone that you want to support and you would like to build a relationship with, and you see they did something cool and they posted it on their LinkedIn, submit it to a paper in their town for them, especially if it's a woman and or a person of color or first gen or something, because they're going to be perceived negatively, especially if they're a woman, for self-promoting. So you doing it for them helps them without the stigma. And if they're first gen, they won't have even thought about it. Okay, so do them that favor. They'll love you forever for that. Jobs through networking are not an instant way to make money. I know you need to hemorrhage the bleeding right now. Like, trust me, I've taken a hit too this year. You already know what you need to do short term. You just find anything, but build your relationships to play the long game. And for me, the networking vagueness has never been helpful. So I hope these gave some tangible tips. If you have other tangible tips, drop them in the comments.